Hey up, it's that old Yorkshire geek here with more news from the world of geeky culture. And here we are, as you can see in the window, the Halo trailer is out for the new Halo TV series that's coming to Paramount Plus. I can't remember when, I'm sure it'll say at the end of the trailer, so let's have a look. I'll talk over it just in case there's copyright issues, but we'll see what happens there. Is it Jeddah? Or the Paradise City or Nimbus 3? No, it ain't. I don't know where it is.
Humanity's best weapon.
We've got a big gun.
Master Chief, huh?
There he is.
The Master Chief was enhanced and trained for one purpose. To win this war. He and the other Spartans are our only
Diverse Spartans. All different.
He is lethal.
Boxes ticked.
And most importantly,
Cool Covenant.
Covenant forces appear to be excavating some kind of object. When I touched the object, I felt something. Felt different. What they did to us.
It actually looks quite good, to be honest.
Don't you know?
The effects. People have said it looks like a fan film, but not to me it doesn't.
What does one do with a superhuman you're not sure you can trust?
Hello, Master Chief. I'm Cortana.
Cortana that people don't like. But apparently it's the voice actress.
Master Chief recovered something.
Sacred ring. Halo.
Are we going to see the Halo? Don't look like it, does it? Apart from on the screen.
Humans. Surrender to the Covenant.
Cortana, I'm gonna need you now. Find the Halo. Win the war.
March 24th, not far. Oh, it don't look too bad actually, so there we go. Let's go back to I didn't just need to pick a blank one. Where's Master Chief? Let's get him on. Where is he? Got to be one there somewhere. The one where he's all, we can see him. Hello. Oh, that'll do. The Spartans. Oh, so there you go. That was the Halo trailer for the new TV series. I've got to be honest, I'm not the biggest Halo fan. I played the first game a million years ago, and I didn't really bother with the others. I might have to try them, to be honest. I've got an Xbox, so why not? So there you go. People have complained about the Cortana looking rubbish. But apparently it's the voice actress. I don't know. That's just what I've read or what I've heard. But we'll see. We'll see. People always complain, don't they, with new things. Me as well. But it might be all right. Not being a big fan, I can't pick it to bits because I don't know what's right and what's wrong. So we'll have to see how it goes. And in March when it comes out, there we go. Right. Next up. Where are we? Get rid of that. Put that on. Here we go. Now then, Boba Fett. Boba Fett fixes 3 big Mandalorian lore problems. This is from Screen Rant. All the links, by the way, will be in the comments down below. Down there. The Book of Boba Fett finally explains some of the biggest perceived inconsistencies in Mandalorian lore established in The Mandalorian. There's a picture of, that's actually Boba Fett, that's Din Djarin, isn't it? The Mandalorian. And that's Duchess, oh god, my brain, Sati, something like that, I can't remember. And the guards from Clone Wars. The Mandalorian presented a side of the Mandalorian culture and lore that seemed inconsistent with previously established Star Wars canon, but thanks to the Book of Boba Fett, those perceived lore problems have been fixed. In the most recent episode, Din Djarin takes centre stage while Boba Fett takes a week off, and he returns to his coven to set up a big Mandalorian lore dump. Mandalorians don't appear in any of the Star Wars movies, but Boba Fett's Mandalorian armour inspired a number of expanded universe stories to flesh out the Mandalorian warrior people. Even though Fett himself isn't actually a Mandalorian, it does say in the series, in the Mandalorian, that he's a foundling, so he's a Mandalorian, not born of Mandalore, but he's a Mandalorian, officially. Those Star Wars legend stories aren't part of the modern Star Wars canon under Disney, so the Mandalorian lore is being rebuilt from the ground up. A lot of it was established in Star Wars animation, and now it's being expanded in The Mandalorian and the most recent episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Interestingly, when the Mandalorians debuted in live action, their culture didn't exactly align with the established canon. They had a religious devotion to something called the Way, this is the Way, and followed extreme rules such as the fact that they never removed their helmets. The reason for many of these perceived inconsistencies in canon surrounding Mandalorian lore was partially explained when Bo-Katan appeared in The Mandalorian Season 2, but now Episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett brings back the Armourer and Paz Vizsla to explain even more. There she goes, there's Bo-Katan, the lovely Katie Sackhoff, amazing lady. In Star Wars Rebels, Sabine Wren gifts the Darksaber to Bo-Katan Kryze, giving her the title of Mandalore and ritual authority to stand to rule of Mandalore. That don't make sense, does it? But whatever. Which she desires to wield to rebuild their presence on their home planet after they had been defeated by the Empire in the years after the end of the Clone Wars. However, when Din Djarin tries to do the same after winning in combat from Moff Gideon, she refused to accept it. Gideon informed Din the Darksaber can only be rightfully claimed in trial by combat, which seems to contradict the events of Star Wars Rebels. It turns out Bo-Katan's acceptance of the Darksaber in Star Wars Rebels was in violation of the trial by combat rule. As the Armourer tells Din, Bo-Katan is a cautionary tale because the Darksaber was gifted to her and not won by Creed. The reason it's a cautionary tale is because Mandalore's decimation by the Empire and Moff Gideon coming to possess the blade happened under her watch. Whether or not the Creed actually holds any supernatural sway over destiny and fate isn't clear, but given the sequence of events, the rules of the Creed are proven true by the Empire decimating the city of Mandalore in the Night of 1,000 Tears, which scattered the Mandalorian people throughout the galaxy. The Armourer says Bo-Katan and House Kryze lost sight of the Way, and we lost our world. Who's that? Oh, there we go. Paz Vizsla and Din Djarin. In modern Star Wars canon, the Mandalorians were depicted as a warrior people with their own distinct government and culture, separate from the Republic or the Empire, which was fairly uncommon in the societies seen in other stories set during those times. The Mandalorians and the Jedi mostly got along, but there's numerous references to a historical feud between the two groups, and the Book of Boba Fett reveals one of the fundamental philosophies that separated the Jedi from the Mandalorians. In The Mandalorian Season 1, the Mandalorians frequently use the phrase "this is the way" as a sort of call and response mantra. It's never exactly clear what the way is, outside of the obvious fact that it's a sort of creed by which this sect of Mandalorians lived. When the Armourer tells Din Djarin Grogu being trained as a Jedi means he'll be taught to forego all attachment, Din reveals the two philosophies are fundamentally opposed. That is the opposite of our creed. Loyalty and solidarity are the way. This sets up an interesting conflict for Grogu, who Ahsoka already refused to train because of his attachment to Mando, with Din still considering him a foundling and seeking him out to deliver a Beskar gift. It's possible those two philosophies may come to a head, implying potential conflict or major philosophical changes for Luke, Din, or even Grogu as they decide the proper way to raise Grogu. And there's Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian. When the Armourer and Paz Vizsla returned in the Book of Boba Fett, we finally learned a little more about what set Din Djarin's Mandalorians apart from the Mandalorians shown in Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. The animated Star Wars shows visited multiple Mandalorian houses, clans and sects, including House Kryze, who led the pacifist new Mandalorian government on Mandalore during the Clone Wars, Clan Vizsla, who led the militaristic rebellion known as Death Watch against the new Mandalorians from Mandalore's moon of Concordia, also colloquially referred to as Maldalorians due to their time as part of Darth Maul's Shadow Collective, when they painted their armour black and red and gave their helmets horns. And whose helmet also has horns? The Armourer. Maybe it'll mention it further down. Clan Ren, part of House Vizsla, on Noest, one of the few Mandalorian strongholds to survive into the later years of the Galactic Civil War between the Empire and the Rebel Alliance. Clan Saxon, also part of House Vizsla, who led the Mandalorian Super Commandos, who were a part of Death Watch. Darth Maul's Shadow Collective, where they put horns on their helmets and painted their armour red and black. I just said that. And even served as the Emperor's enforcers against other Mandalorians during the Galactic Civil War, again modifying their armour, this time to look more like stormtroopers, with appearances and references to numerous other Mandalorian families, groups and traditions, all of which were defined by their own idiosyncrasies, but still maintained the same basic tenets of Mandalorian culture. The Mandalorians introduced the most radical sect of Mandalorians yet, the Tribe, members of the Children of the Watch, whose religious devotion to the Way set them apart from all of the Mandalorian groups seen to that point, introducing a number of extreme rules, such as the fact that they were never to remove their helmets. Bo-Katan refers to the Children of the Watch as a cult of religious zealots that broke away from Mandalorian society, who aimed to restore the ancient way. Bo-Katan may view them as extremists who broke away from Mandalorian society, but it's clear the Children of the Watch see themselves as the only true adherents to Mandalorian tradition, blaming the fall of Mandalore on House Kryze losing their way. In the Book of Boba Fett, the Armourer reveals their sect would have been destroyed during the Great Purge if they hadn't cloistered on the moon of Concordia, suggesting even stronger ties to Pre-Vizsla's Death Watch, given the same home planet, the presence of Paz Vizsla as a member, and the similar use of Watch in their name. Death Watch didn't follow the same helmet rule, but did have a far more traditionalist vision for Mandalorians, believing it was a violation for House Kryze to set up a pacifist government. Death Watch also possessed the dark saber and respected its authority, so when Bo-Katan accepted it as a gift and Mandalore fell, it may have pushed them into an even stricter adherence to the ancient Mandalorian way. As the Armourer claimed, only those who walk the way escaped the curse prophesied in the Creed. They believe the way ensured their survival after the Great Purge and will ultimately lead to their return to Mandalore. If they believe a violation of the Creed is the reason for the Mandalorian Empire fell, is the reason the Mandalorian Empire fell, it makes sense why they would lean into even the most extreme rules as such as the rule to never remove their helmets. I'll learn to read one of these days. Of course, I'm northern, we can't read. Of course, Din Djarin has removed his helmet a number of times, and after he defeats Paz Vizsla in combat for the Darksaber, he admits this to the Armourer, who declares he's no longer a Mandalorian. I've just gone, no, I've never really removed my helmet. Honest. But he didn't, so there we go. However, due to the other tenets of the way, he's not stripped of his Beskar armour, his clan Mudhorn sigil, or even the Darksaber, so that his excommunication may only be true for the two remaining members of the tribe, while Bo-Katan and the other remaining Mandalorians may not follow the same dogma, obviously. Even so, if Darth Maul was given authority over Mandalore when he had the lightsaber, there's no reason to believe Din Djarin would be rejected as long as he has it, unless it's taken from him in trial by combat, although even then there's plenty of Mandalorian clans who weren't born on Mandalore, and they obviously don't take issue with helmet removal. So for now, it seems like there's only 2 people who only see Din as a former Mandalorian, unless Din's own devotion to the Way is strong enough for him to consider himself an outcast. Regardless, the Book of Boba Fett's brief visit with the tribe included enough heavy-handed name drops to create an entire season of MacGuffins, so the armourer telling Din he can purify himself in the living water of Mandalore likely indicates another quest for Din to undertake when the Mandalorian returns in Season 3, whenever that is. With Din in possession of the Darksaber and Bo-Katan desiring to retake Mandalore, it's entirely possible Din could serve as a unifying force for the remaining Mandalorians, even including the Children of the Watch, meaning a whole lot of new Mandalorians' lore could be on the way. They're done. Crikey, I'll learn to read. I'll go back to school, night classes. So there we go. So talking about the Mandalorian and the creed that he's no longer Mandalorian because he's removed his helmet, at least in the eyes of the armourer, and Paz Vizsla. So 2 of them out of how many are left? Well, there's quite a lot in there from what we've seen. So anyway, we'll see what happens in Season 3 of The Mandalorian and what's coming up in there. There's 2 more episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. We might see Grogu, might be this Wednesday, and maybe Luke Skywalker, we'll see. So there we go. What's next? Oh yes, Star Wars Eclipse, reportedly inspired by The Last of Us. New information surrounding the upcoming Star Wars Eclipse suggests that the video game features elements inspired by the PlayStation's The Last of Us. This is the first one or the second one? I've not played the second one. Controversy. New details on Star Wars Eclipse suggest the name. I still can't read. Suggest that the game is Quantic Dream's most ambitious project to date and is inspired by The Last of Us. Writing on Twitter, leaker account NGT provided the list of all the information they have gathered on Star Wars Eclipse since originally confirming it in late 2021. Within the thread, the industry insider noted, can't people write? I can't read, and article writers can't write, authors, whatever, that the game will feature a mix of story and gameplay, Last of Us and inspiration, and could also include traditional action gameplay with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order cited as an example of what fans can expect. Beyond this, account NGT also writes that Star Wars Eclipse will have more playable characters than any other game made by Quantic Dream, a studio widely known for producing narratives focused on multiple protagonists. The actual story will be non-linear in nature and is currently still being written. The developer is reportedly also working to implement some form of competitive multiplayer, but what form this will take is currently unknown. The last significant nugget of information to be gained from the new report is that Star Wars Eclipse will seemingly launch on PlayStation, Xbox and PC. When the original cinematic trailer debuted during the Game Awards 2021, the title's platforms were not specified. While many fans are excited about a Star Wars game embracing the popular setting of the High Republic, development on Eclipse has reportedly been troubled. Quantic Dream is currently embroiled in a high-profile investigation and lawsuit surrounding allegations of workplace inequality and sexual harassment. This controversy has impacted the developers' hiring process, leading some to believe the game will only release closer to 2026. Reputable leaker Tom Henderson revealed rumours that Eclipse initially started off as an ambitious MMO, a plan which was pitched to Sony, who ultimately rejected the project. Whatever happens with Star Wars Eclipse, fans of the galaxy far, far away can look forward to several other games that will be released in the future. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga finally unveiled its April 5th release date after several years of delays, while Respawn Entertainment confirmed that it was working on 3 new titles in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games. One of these projects is the highly anticipated sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. There we go. Lucasfilm Games. Why don't they just bring back LucasArts? Why? So there you have it. I mean, Quantic Dreams, they did like Fahrenheit, didn't they? And Heavy Rain. Are they the right, is that the right company I'm thinking of? Whatever. But they're, you know, highly story driven, and almost point and click adventures almost, aren't they? You know, where you have to find clues to get to progress. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So there we go. That's the news for today. The Halo trailer. This looks alright. What else was there? The Boba Fett about the Mandalorians. Not really news, was it? It was just an opinion piece. And Quantic Dream's doing Star Wars Eclipse, and it's going to take them years. So whatever. So there we go. Anyway, that's it for today. No Whippet walking again, because I haven't even got a Whippet. I lied. I've got a cat though, but she don't go for walks. So anyway, so I'll see you later, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. So I'll see thee.